guys, welcome back to my channel. So we've got our cover made for our album cover, journal cover I should say. So it's all dried nicely, sitting pretty good, pretty happy with how it all looks. There's ribbons to tie it all up once it's all done. It's quite cute. So what we're going to do today is make the signatures that will go in the middle in here. So what I have done is I have gone through my paper stash and found a whole heap of different papers that hopefully will look quite good together. Thrown in a bit of music paper because you can't go wrong, right? So the first one, I'll show you what they are. It's just a piece of craft, plain on the back, ledger paper on that one. This one is Vicky Booten, I think, which is just plain on the back, which is fun. You don't have to be patterned both sides. Some cute pink, peach. So I can put that one there. Oh, cute peach. These are all just randoms from my stash. I think that's Vicky Booten too. These are from a couple of kits that I subscribe to. So that's sort of, and I try and pick them that sort of go together, if you know what I mean. Like the love hearts. Love hearts are quite cute. Some more wood, or plain, I should say. There's a wood grain on that side. Actually, I'm going to go that way. Some cute, more paper on that side. So that piece is going to go down. Rainbows. I thought that one went pretty good. This one has been in my stash forever. I don't even know what brand it is. Quite cute. It's quite cute. So then some more craft, different, just a, plainish, and some ledger paper. So they are I picked, I think there's 11 sheets there to make the inside of my book. So that will make, 11 pages will make 22 pages, 22 backs and fronts. So, which is great. So when you get into this stage, then you need to work out roughly, I try and put them in order, but then once you get back to cutting it and everything, I do like to play with it a little bit just to make sure that what you're opening sort of goes together, like they work together. So once you've got all your pages and everything ready, then you need to work out what size you need. So I'm going to sort of go on a bit of a measurement that my note music paper is roughly the right size. So once we put them in our signatures, which will be about here, they're going to sit out about that far. So, which is not bad, because once you add things to the sides or flips, things like that, you tend to add space and you tend to add bulk. So it doesn't matter that it's not perfect and doesn't go to the end. I think it looks better that way. It just works a bit better, pretty much. So again, with your bigger pieces of paper, you could make one side smaller, one side longer. I'm roughly going to go middle again, I think, for most of these. So once we put them in, they're going to be roughly, an inch short probably. But that's completely fine with what you're going to do to it, okay? So what I'm going to go and do first is go and give these a little bit of a fold. That's the main thing we're going to do to begin with. All right, give it a fold, and then you don't have to have it the right length. So you really need to make sure that it sits inside the cover, wherever you're going to put it. So this one, what I'm going to do, I think, is tear the bottom off. So we're just going to, so that'll be a page in there like so. So it doesn't matter, like you could tear the edge, you could tear part of this out, you could do whatever you like. It's not, doesn't matter so much. And then I'm going to put this guy in here. So if it overlaps a bit, that's completely fine. Okay, so that's the first one. Alrighty, second one is this yellow page. So what we're going to do is we're going to, actually I might cut his top off first. Let's fold that bit down, because you can always use this piece on another. Keep your scraps. Scraps very much come in handy, which is good. Does have a little perforated edge on this one, but I thought I'll give him make it easy. Put him off to the side. So then this one, I'm going to fold him as well, roughly to there. Alright, same with this one. You can make them whatever sizes you like, as long as they sort of work inside your journal. And this one, how cute's that? You don't want to cut any of that off. That's pretty cool. So there's a fold. Oh, didn't do a very good job of that, did I? Ah. You know what? If you make a mistake, it's not the end of the world. Oh my God, having trouble with that, aren't I? Wants to automatically fall down there. It's a funny paper, this. It's like a sort of a shiny-ish kind of a feel about it. There we go. That's better. You could also use a bone scorer. That would probably make sense, right? But there we go. We'll get it nice and, which is great. That one inside of that one. Actually, I'm going to go like so. Looks good. All right. You know what? I'm going to go and fold all these, and I'll be back. You don't have to watch all of this that way. Won't be long. Okay, I've cut down a heap of these signatures. So all I did was cut the branding strips off. I cut a couple down so that I've just got a rough size on the first one, but I put them into a bit of an order, so these will go quite nicely. I think I try and colour coordinate them a little bit so that they're not complete randoms on the other side. So white and craft works quite well. This and this were going together, so it's got orange tones and stuff in it. Got a pinky peachy sort of colour on this side. Some clouds. There's a bit of pink in it, so I've put a pink piece with it. It's a bit cutesy, this one. So these go very well together. They're from the same collection, so they work pretty well. Some pastel rainbows, and you know, a bit of a splatter sort of in that really light green rainbow. The yellow match is in here. Lots of random colours with some white, some wood grain, some more craft, and some music paper. Now I find music paper is quite fragile, so if you can put it inside something to keep it a little bit, a little bit firm kind of thing, because you will find that this does tear a little bit. I found that in my last album, so if you can sort of guard it a little bit, the better off it'll be. So I haven't really touched the music paper. I've pretty much kept that to how it is, because it's probably going to tear a little bit once you start scrapping and, you know, journaling on it. So that comes up pretty good. So what I'm going to do is cut some of these down. So you might have noticed none of my folds are the same. I've made everything a little bit different. And there's no right or wrong when you're doing that. It's whatever you like the look of, pretty much. And I just sort of go with it. Once you start journaling and scrapbooking on it, you don't really notice all of this stuff. You just know that it's a page. So, you know, don't worry if you tear it a bit somewhere that you don't want to tear it. You can add pieces onto that, which I'll show you down the track. But, so my front one, what I've done on this one is pretty much worked out the size. It can't be any longer than that. So I made it so it's just inside my covering. And I just did that. I just do that. I don't measure anything. I just do it by hand, look at it and go, oh yeah, about there, mark it and then cut it. So I tore the corner off there, give it a little bit more of a bit of a look. We might even do a bit on the other side. There you go. Bit more tearing on that one. You can tear the other side if you want to. Completely up to you, whatever you want to do. I quite like it like that. I might put some fringe or something on that down the track, but You can even rough these bits up a little bit. We can do that later anyway. All right, so that's the first page. So the next page we're going to put in. So yeah, this is a really thick cardstock too, so let's work out how we're going to do that. We might make that one a little bit smaller. He's going to sit inside this guy. So let's mark that out a little bit. Oh, can you see that? So I'm just going to mark him down there. And all I'm going to do is cut it. Cut it on my cutter. And then you've got a little bit of scrap stuff that you can either use on that page or on another page. Whatever you want to do. I'm going to keep that one whole. I quite like that one. Oh, the trimmer's getting a little bit fluffy. All right, so he's going to sit inside. See, he's not quite the same right size, but he sits pretty well. Happy with that. All right, next page. I'm going to do this one. This one is going to sit in the middle of this guy. Okay. What are we going to do with this one? We might make him a little bit smaller again, so he works. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to tear this one. And however it tears, right? There we go. Look at that. Him inside. Yeah, pretty happy with that. He looks pretty good. That way you get a bit of texture as well down the bottom. I love tearing in these things. They look good once they're finished. Again, it's totally up to what you like. It's one of those things. All right, moving on to the next one. All right. Okay, let's make this one back to roughly the right size. Let's make him quite long. I really like this paper. It's so nice. Let's make it the same as the other one. Keeping our trimmer back. Again, you know, you can tear these if you wanted. You could rough up the edge, whatever you feel like doing. Yeah, I'll rough up the edge just for a bit of a. I tend to go back and do this afterwards, but let's do it now while we're at it. Oh. Texture's great in these things. I love that there's texture in all this. It doesn't have to be everywhere, just wherever. Beautiful. That's pretty good. And I've roughed up the other side, which is completely fine. I might do that. Oh, just not to the camera. Which is a bit cool. Beautiful. I quite like that. Looks good. So here's my next page. See how they're all a little bit different? It's fine if they don't match. It really is. Yep. See, and he's got a bit of a wider piece on one side, so he's going to stick out, which is pretty cool. I like that. That's looking good. All right, on to the next one now, or onto a pink piece, because there's a bit of pink in the back of this. So, what do we do here? Let's make him the same size again. And again, see, he's overlapping. I made this one completely in half, where this one is, I've left a good inch and a bit on that side, just for something different. So if you really wanted to, you could chop this in half, like cut off a heap of this pink if you wanted and go the other way and make it a bit, you know, a bit more that direction. Whatever floats your boat, actually. And you know what I am going to do? I'm just going to tear it if I can start it. Yeah, that's actually really cool. I like that. There you go. So it's, instead of being on the bottom, it's on the top this time. You can do it however you like. So he sits in the middle in there. So they're all roughly, you know, with some overhang. That's completely fine. Right, onto the pink one is next. Alright, let's go back a bit higher again. Let's make him, let's go really long on this guy. He's a really pretty piece of paper. Very cutesy. That's it. And see, I haven't folded him perfectly in half. I've left a little edge. So, you know, you could put a little bit of trim or something on there, down the track. Whatever you feel the need to do. Anything that you think it makes it look pretty. Okay, next one is our green one. Green one, let's make him a bit shorter. Actually, let's make him way shorter. Let's put him about, what's on that side? Oh, that's not actually. Let's make him quite high. Only because it's got that rainbow. We don't want to miss out on too much of that colour. I think I'm just going to use the paper trimmer again. Work out where that one goes. You can see it that way. That's it. Looking good. That's it. So we've got another piece of this yellow. Yellow on this one. Alright, let's make this a little bit shorter. This one I'm going to tear as well. That looks good. Yeah, that's groovy. So you can get a bit of a different variation from the other pages as well. I try and keep them as big as I can though, only because when you're putting a few photos on, sometimes it can be a little bit hard to put a lot of photos on one, you know, a page. So I try and keep as much room as possible, if is that possible. All right, let's make this a long one, I think. Let's go to here. Again, didn't fold him completely in half. I've left him with a little bit of an overlap on one side. So that works quite well with this because of the colour. Bit of white, bit of colour. It's pretty paper. Love that wood grain stuff. And then I'd already done these two. So I'm going to put him in the middle and him in the other middle, like so. And that is signature 1. It's looking pretty good actually. Alright, let's have a little flick through and make sure we're happy with how they line up. Yep, picked a bit of colour. I am a little bit matchy, so I like to have a little bit of, so that they look like they go, which is always nice. Yeah, that pinky tone, some spots, clouds, some pinks. I think there's a little bit of pink tone in there. Cutesy rainbows, pastels, some green. Yeah, there's only a little bit of that yellow in there after all that. But that's okay, it works. They work together. That's some white and some craft and a rainbow paper. So then it just doubles down the other side, see? So we've got the same thing the other way. So we've got like 2 pages pretty much. They're just not next to each other, just on the opposite side. But they all go pretty good. Well, that even goes well together. Oranges, goes with the orange on the back. Perfect. That's pretty good for signature 1. I'm happy with that. All right, I'll just put him off to the side for a sec. So then I'm doing 2 signatures of the 11 sheets. So that will give me 44 pages. So that's a lot, especially for a year one. That's quite a few. And you don't have to use a double page for each, thing that you journal about. You can do 1 sheet if you really want to, if you've got a lot of things to journal about. So my next bunch that I got, more notepaper, because you can never have too much notepaper. It's cute, say cheese. I don't know what brand that is, but I thought it was quite a bit neutrally. So, and the cameras are cute too on the other side. So those there. Some cute lemons. Thought they'd go quite good with the cameras. Some checks, some cute little leaves. Again, Vicky Booten, how can you go wrong? It's gorgeous. So that's on the other side. And I put that with this 49er Market, seeing there was lots of colour in these two. I thought they'd go quite good together too. rainbow on the other side with this sort of yellowy sort of colour. It works. It goes there. There's another sort of, you know, washed out kind of colour. There's another 49er market, which is quite nice. And then these cute green leaves. I thought the leaves are cute. You can do all sorts of stuff with these leaves. The back side is just like a crafty script kind of colour on that side. Another wood grain, slightly different tone in that one. It's more a greyish than a white. And that's plain on the back. Well, a cool colour on the back, which I don't mind either. It's quite nice. I like it. Some cute pink flowers. Pink dots. They go well with this page. Another Vicky Boughton. You can tell I like Vicky Boughton, can't you? And that's just plain cardstock on the back, and it's quite a thick cardstock, which is quite nice. I like that. And then I've just got a bit of world map craft, so that's on the back side. So coming back through this way, put them all back where they should be. That goes with that one. But maybe put it the other way. Oh, that's right. That goes with that one. That goes with the yellowish, because there's a bit of yellow tone in that, so I thought that would go quite good. The watery colour, go with this sort of watery colour. That goes with this one. And then a bit of a plainer colour with these two. And then I had some these with some cameras. Or I could do it the other way. It wouldn't matter. I could do it either direction. And then that one, and with that one. So again, we're going to fold the note paper in half. You could fold it the other direction, but you wouldn't have much of a page. It's not very wide. So I quite like it going that direction. I don't mind that it's going the wrong direction, not going that way. It doesn't matter too much. So that's that one. Okay, so I am just going to go off camera and cut all these little strips off again like I did last time and give them a fold, and I'll come back with it partially done. Okay, see you in a minute. Okay, branding strips off, folded and pretty much put back in order. Okay, so kept the order going pretty well, I think. I ended up folding that one slightly differently, so we got a little bit of variation of colour. That one's a bit shorter, so you can see a few more things through it. So that's a shorter page, that's quite a wide page. They look quite cute together, actually. Pretty happy with all of that. Okay, so now we just need to make them the right size. So my other one of this, the other craft, I tore on the front. So I'm just going to put a pencil mark. I think I'm just going to cut that one. Okay. So this is totally up to you how you want to make your pages and put them all together. That's it. So that's our first one. The next one, work out how I want to put that. Whether we want to put it inside. Yep, I think I will actually. Keep him nice and even. That's not a bad size page. Like, it's a good size page. So I'm going to cut him to size. Oh yeah, he's cool. I love that paper. Oh, get that way. It's quite thick, this cardstock. This Vicky Boughton cardstock. Quite thick. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Alright, put him inside there. Yeah, that's pretty good. And he overhangs just slightly. That looks good. And then that one's on slightly on the inside. Beautiful. All right. So our next piece, I'm going to make him a bit smaller, I think. And I think I'm going to tear him. I think I'm going to tear the top too, just for something different. Oh, it didn't tear very well, did it? Let's try again. Beautiful. That looks good. He overhangs slightly, which is completely fine. You get a bit of the background then of the other colour. which is good. That comes out really well. All right, next piece is the white. Let's make him slightly bigger. To there. I'm going to cut this guy. Let's cut him to about there. Another piece. Yeah, that looks good. So he goes with the white, and then we open up to this nice big page here. The next one is this one. Okay, let's put him slightly on the inside. Yeah, it's good. I haven't perfectly folded him, but that's okay. Doesn't matter too much. Yeah, I might do. Let's put him just inside, a little pencil mark where I want him to go. Into the pencil mark. Beautiful. Looking good. Yep, perfect. Alright, next piece is this yellowy colour. So, there's our tear on the top back there. Yeah, I might put a tear on the top of this one, but let's mark the other edge. I'm going to cut it to about there. Cut that. This is pretty thick, this cardstock as well. That's alright. Should we tear the top? Let's do the side actually. Tear a bit of this. As well, so I don't take too much off. Good. It's relatively straight. He can go in the middle. I don't think we've torn down this side for a while. But yep, that looks pretty good. Goes there. Beautiful. Alrighty. Now I've got this one. I think I'm going to make him a big full-size piece. Nice and big. The other end of that one. It's that craft one, that's it. I'm going off the craft. Nice full piece. Again, you can make this any size you like, or you can add pieces. Oh, doesn't that suck? Oh no, got it pretty much. Hey, cares if it tears a little bit. So let's put a nice big full piece in. Yeah, that's the butterfly, so that looks cool. Good, I like that there's all bits hanging out. There's some pieces hanging out. Looking good. Alright. Okay, I think I'm going to tear the top of this guy. Oh, I didn't do a very good job of finding that, did I? Not at all. Oh no, it's all good. I did that on purpose. That's it. Alright, so he sits in there. It's a little bit shorter, but that's okay. Perfect. I've got this one. You know what? I'm going to make this one a little bit shorter. Since we tore the top on that one, let's tear the bottom on this one. That's easy. That looks groovy. And then, yeah, almost there. Make him slightly bigger too, so you can see a bit of overlap on some of these pages. That one there. Oh, sorry, did that off camera. Still getting used to doing it on the camera and trying to see above the stand. That's always a bit of fun. And then our last piece is our music piece in the middle, like so. That looks pretty good. I quite like that. It's nice and thick. Yeah, that's good. Beautiful. I was pretty happy with those. My two signatures. Make sure they're roughly, well, one's slightly smaller than the other, but that's okay. Completely okay. Yeah, one's quite wide actually. Yes, I've made it really long. Thought that was a bit weird. All right, I'm going to go back, trim all that up. So this is why you check as you go to make sure that you've got it all right. That's going to fit inside the journal cover. Nothing like a rookie error. We can cut it all down. It's not the end of the world. It'd be worse if we had have sewn it in. That would not have been good. All right, cut this one down. Put him on there. We really don't want them any longer than this piece. Otherwise they're going to stick out too far in the journal and it won't sit as nice. It's okay if it sits out on the top, that's completely fine. But on the bottom, you don't really, you don't want it to, because it's not going to sit flat. So by at least putting it on the, making sure the bottom's nice and flat, you can have some overhang on the top, that's completely fine. It won't make any difference to the functionality of it, that's for sure. That one will be fine because it's inside the lines of it. Oh, that one's right on, which is good. That will fit in there nice. Yeah, these ones are a little bit smaller. I've only done a few that are really big, which is okay. That one's probably okay too. Yep, he's inside the lines. This one may not be. Nope, he is quite large. So, that one to the top. So this is probably, oh gosh, how many have I made now of these? My sixth one, I suppose, that I've made. Of these, and each one's a unique book, that's for sure. But how is that going to work? Let me see. Is he too big? He is probably just a smidgy too big. So let's tear him down just a teeny tiny bit more. Oh. Let's see how far that sits out. Ooh, I might need to take a little bit more out of this bit. Yeah, that's probably not too bad. We can probably play with that down the track if we have to chop some off. See how we go. Alright, after that one. This one, he's good size. And there's this one, he's pretty good size too. So it's only about 2 or 3 of them that I had to chop down, which is good. That should all sit nicely. Put them on the bottom there. That looks pretty good. Got a little bit of overhang. That's not the end of the world. We can chop that or rip that off a bit more later. So we've got our 2 signatures that are all in through there. So pretty happy with this second one as well. How all the papers work. Yep. That looks good. A little lighter colours. Some lemons. Beautiful. And then it goes back the other direction too. These bigger pages. Awesome. Looking good. Happy with all of that. How cute's that? Beautiful. Done. So we have our 2 signatures with all our papers, which is great. Okay, so I'm just going to grab a couple of clips so we can put these together. Okay, got the clips. So You sort of need to work out roughly where you want them to sit in each signature. Whether you want them to be, you know, a bit more even. Yeah, that's okay. Happy with that. Happy with that. Yeah, so wherever you, yeah, see it's got a bit of edging on the edge. Perfect. Completely covers that one. Like that one. That's it. Beautiful. Wraps around. Pink. Might make him a little bit lower. Pink. He looks good there. And that goes pretty much on the outside of the white. Okay, so pretty happy with how all that is. So what I normally do is once you're happy with how it sits in the actual folder, I try and keep them together that way, because that way it lines up where you want to put your holes in it too, because we're going to sew the center. So I normally clip it like that, so that you've still got access to the middle. You're happy with how everything's sitting. Make sure it's all in the middle, which is looking good. Okay, so same again on this one. Work out roughly where you want them to sit. So these guys are, oh no, they're slightly different. So if you want, you know, the same amount of cardstock to show on each one, you just need to put them in the right positions before you put the clips on. That's pretty good. That's a full one. I'm going to put that up a little bit. That's it. So that way I've got a little bit showing on either side. That's pretty much the right cut. That one is slightly smaller, so we might make him in the middle of that piece. That's it. So she's got a bit showing. That's it. This one again, so when you tear it, you know, you might not want it all up the top there. I usually try and put it in the middle somewhere so that it looks like it goes. You get the maximum amount of paper then, or page, I should say. That looks pretty good, although that's not very straight. Oh, I moved that. And these ones, work out where you want these. Beautiful. Pretty happy with how all of that looks. Beautiful. So, that on a bit of an angle, don't I? So I might pull that down a little bit. That's good. And you see a bit of white on the top and the bottom, which is good. Put the clip on. Put the clip on. Right, that's it. Beautiful, they're on. So it's holding it in place, and all our centers are directly in the middle. So we've got our two signatures all ready to go. Look at that, I put music paper on the middle of both of them. That's quite funny, really. But it works, so matched it all up. Right, so we've got that to that stage. So I'm going to put these to the side for now, and we'll come back to our cover, how we are going to work out where we're going to put our holes. So all I use is a piece of photocopy paper, just out of your printer. And what we're going to do is put your printer paper on the creases in your cover. Wherever your creases sit is the best way to go. And you're just going to use a pencil to mark the length there and to the other crease, which if you push it down, you will find where the other crease is. You can usually feel it. It usually shows its head pretty easily. So then we're going to cut this piece down to the right size. Okay, this 1 and 2, like so. So this now should fit directly on the inside of your cover. Perfect. See, creases there, top to bottom. Perfect. Rightio. So now what we're going to do is we're going to fold it in half, I'm going to fold it in half again. So you're making creases, like so. Then we're going to go into the middle, like this, to the middle, and then we're going to go middle again. So you should end up with a whole bunch of little rectangles on your piece of paper. Now this is not my idea. I follow a fabulous lady in the UK who got me onto making journals some time ago, and her YouTube channel is It's Only Paper. So this is not my idea. I'm not saying it's my idea, but I really enjoy making these journals, and she got me very inspired, and I'm absolutely loving playing with these journals. Right, so what we're going to do, when you've got all these little squares and everything all folded up, we're going to pick this one, and this one. And the other side, it's going to be this one, and this one. So you've got 6 holes. Okay, so then what we're going to do, I usually use a couple more clips. There's 1, 2, doesn't really matter what they are. These are the ones that I use all the time for this sort of thing. It's very handy to have some bulldog clips. Very handy for you for all these sorts of things. So this will just hold everything in place. Okay, so what we're going to do next is we're going to punch a hole. Punch, I say punch. Stick a hole. I've just got a, this is my silhouette tool, or cricket tool, I think it is. I think this one's a cricket one. Yeah, cricket, sorry. And I use it as a poker. You can use it, I think it's for picking for your cricket, but it works very well in this scenario as well. So make sure your finger's not behind it when you push down, and push through to the other side, and it will create a hole. So we want to create the holes on all of these. Sometimes you just got to make sure the fabric doesn't go crazy on the other side, but this is how I make mine. That's it. Give it a bit of a turn, a bit of a twirl. That's it. More. So you've got your 6 holes, which we will use to sew your signatures in. This works an absolute treat. So once you take that off, then you will see your 6 holes that are perfectly marked out by your folding, which is beautiful. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So you've got your 6 holes, which is great, and all from this piece of paper. So that's your guide. And it's so easy to make a guide to make it fit, which is great. Alrighty, so once you get to that stage, we're going to bring back our signatures. And what we're going to do is line this up with the hole on that particular. You want to do it so that you've got the right amount. So if you want to put it in the middle of each, so you've got pretty much the same sort of overhang on both sides, which I don't. You can work out where you want it to sit, because it will, once you sew, it will make them sit in certain positions. So that is pretty good, I think, which is great. Yep, that looks pretty good. Just make sure it's still on your crease line. I have fallen for that before and not got it on the right crease line, but that is perfect. So you can either mark them if you want, and then come back and do it this way. So you've got your 3 pencil marks on there. Maybe move your journal so you don't poke it. And yes, I should be using a self-healing mat, but I'm not. I'm just gonna stick that through. This can be a little bit tough. Sometimes you have to give it a bit of a wiggle to get all the way through. You'll feel it go. Get all the way through. See? Nice, decent size. I'll do the same on this one. Yes. Keep wiggling. Keep wiggling. Got it. On through. So you can use all sorts of tools for this. You could, you know, a big strong poker like this, or the bookbinding tool. That works really well too, that really big thick thing to get through. I find this works just as well because you've got to get a needle through here, and as long as the needle goes through, you're good to go. So that's one with my 3 holes put on there. So that will go in one signature, and we'll sew that in. Oh, sorry, I did that off camera. Those 3 will go in one signature, and it will go down one line like so. Perfect. So do the same on the other one, which you can use the other side. It doesn't really matter which side you use because it's as long as it lines up. Yeah, that one's pretty good actually. Make sure my 2 roughly look the same. Yeah, so if you put this on, you'll be able to see roughly where the other one's going to sit. So this one's going to sit lower if I do it that way. So I think I need to pull it down slightly. Put him back on. You can see where your holes are to where they'll, that's better. Much better. I might just go slightly a little bit down. It's perfect. Make sure you are on your edge here. You can stick this on too if you really want to, so that it doesn't go anywhere. Oh, there it is. Oh, it's not helpful. It needs to be smooth. And you can stick it on the other end too if you like, but I usually just wing it. Okay, time to put holes in. All right. Same again, you're doing exactly the same thing again on this one. Just make sure your crease is all lined up in the right spot. And again, we're just gonna wiggle until we get that through. And you'll feel it go all the way through. You've got to use a little bit of pressure, but once you get through, I'm not going through 11 pieces of cardstock, so pattern paper. Okay, next one. Again. Oh, there we go. That's it. 1, 2. It's a bit tougher, that one. I'm still on my line. Yes, I am. Beautiful. So if you're not on your line, you'll be slightly crooked with these signatures, which could be a bit of fun sewing them in. Beautiful. There we go. So we should have 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Looking good. That's looking really good, actually. Okie doke. So now we need to make the decision which one we want at the front and which one we want at the back. I don't really think it matters. This one's slightly smaller. I don't know whether we should put that one at the front and that one at the back. What do you think? Slightly smaller. Or do I put that one at the front? Yeah, let's put that one at the front. It's a bit of fun. All right. I won't be 1 second. I'm just going to grab a needle and thread. Okay, I've got my needle and thread. I'm just using regular cotton with mine. Some people use wax thread, but I have found that really hard to find. So I just go with cotton, and I haven't had an issue yet. Nothing's come apart or broken or anything like that. So, and I tend to put a knot in it for a tight bow anyway, so nothing comes undone. So, okay, let's get into it. So what I normally do, I usually sort of work out about 3 times the book. You can do whatever you like. Actually, that's probably too much, but anyway, let's see how we go. Let's see if I can thread this needle. This will be the fun part. Oh, no. Did we get it? Yes, we got it. Beautiful. Up. Put that all nice and tight. Okay. So what we are going to do first, we're going to put this one in first. And this is going to be the first signature. So your first signature you're going to put on this one, because this is the cover page. okay? So this is how it opens. So this will be our front. So what we are going to do is start here. I'm going to go down through the middle. So down through the middle. That I don't feel like I'm getting all the way through to the middle. There we go, got it. Got it all the way through. We're going to go down through the middle of this one. So down, right through to the bottom. Show you. Right through to the bottom, like so. Okay, but we're going to leave a little bit of bit. So what I normally do is, you can go either way, it doesn't really matter. But I tend to go, whoa, where am I going? I'm way off target today. Alright, so we're going to pop in through here, if I can get it all the way through. Come on. Oh my gosh, I'm slightly off centre on that one. That's when, if you can't feel like you're getting it just right, I just need to go back in again. Give it another twirl. See how that goes. So we're coming back in from the other side. Oh, so we're going back. Gosh, if I can find the hole. This is the fun part. Trying to make it all line up and do what it's supposed to do. Right, so I've got it through one. Now I'm going to go through the other one. Here we go. Through that side. Oh my gosh. Having some trouble today, aren't I? I think it's because I've gone slightly off centre there. I haven't gone super straight, which has become the problem. Right, hold that right there. Gosh, got it. Whew, that was complicated, wasn't it? And I dropped it. Awesome. So I've pulled that too far, so I'm going to pull that till that goes tight. And you've partly got that in. That's it. So now we're going to go back down through this hole. Oh my gosh. I'm not lining up at all today, am I? Back down through this hole. I'm going to go back down through this hole. Got it. Takes a bit of precision to get it right while we're still keeping that. You know what? Let's pull that off to the side. Oh, and I still didn't clip it. Beautiful. There we go. So then we're back down underneath, and we're going to go to the bottom one now. So if I'll find my little hole down here. There it is. And the other hole is just, where's the other hole? Over there. Oh, I can feel it coming through. Hey, we're not even on the line there. Beautiful. Okay, back through the hole, out the other side. Perfect. Beautiful. That's it. And then back down this hole. So I go around probably, you could do it once or twice, just to make sure that you're nice and tight. You can just do it once if you really want to, but I want to make sure this is in nice and tight. Whoa, 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 hang on, I nearly knocked out my camera. Might be one sec, just pull that along a little bit. There we go. All right, where are we? I'm back down this way. Just going back through one more time. Oh gosh. Even poking in the right spot. got it. Oh my gosh. So the more you pull this, the tighter that will become, which is good. So you can either come back and just put it to there, or you can go back down, through again. I think I'm just going to go to there. That feels pretty tight everywhere. Feels like it's in place. Let's make sure everything else is tightish. No, no, it's not. Piece is not that tight. Oh, there we go. Now it is. It's looking good. Just trying to get that piece nice and tight. And back down through. Look at that. When it's tight, it's so easy. So easy. I say that. No. Oops, sorry. I'm a little bit off camera there. A bit hard to maneuver. Alright, so I've gone around twice. Oh, that, I did need nearly all that thread. And just pull this so that it's nice and firm. So that side's nice and firm. Pull that side. Beautiful. So then what I usually do is sort of pull it to the center. Create a bit of a knot. Knot's always good because it just holds everything in place. Like so. So it's nice and firm. And then if you want to, you can do a little bow. I think I did a bow in my other ones. Putting on like so, and you can make it as long or as short as you like. You can always shorten them later. Oh my gosh. I don't make much luck today, am I? I'm just going to leave it like that. Cut off a few little edges, and that's my middle piece. Beautiful. One done. So that is in nice and tight. Pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty happy with that. It's relatively central. I probably could have moved them down slightly, but you know what? It doesn't make that much difference. See how it's nice and tight in there too, which is good. So that means all my pages are in nice and tight. Beautiful. All right. On to the next one. Let me just find my cotton. So, same again. Oh, I look like I have moved these slightly, haven't I? Hence, which is what I probably did before that caused all the problem. 1, 2, 3. So again, we're going to put it through. Oh, there's a little moth on my desk. Oh, look at him go. The joys of living in Queensland, huh? With the door open. Because it's been a bit warm. Beautiful. Oh, he likes hanging around, that guy. Right, that's in. So pull that back to there. Let's just make sure that we're... Oh, see, I've wiggled it slightly. So let's make sure all that's put back together. And we're still all lined up. Yeah, see, I moved that slightly with that. There we go. Just making sure I'm all still lined. Still sitting pretty good. That's it. 1, 2, 3. That's it. Beautiful. They're back all nice and lined up. Perfect. Okay, let's start sewing this last signature. So we're going to go down the middle of this one, down the middle of this. Yep. Beautiful. Right, we're going to leave a bit of that string out. Beautiful. All right, I'm going to go up first. 2. Oh, this one's working much easier, isn't it? Except it's not straight. There we go. Down there. Back down the middle. Hopefully I'm close. This takes a little bit of wiggling this around to get it in the right spot. Up, down, back down to the last one. Back to the last hole. And come back down through this one over here. Beautiful. Look at that. Maybe I was just working up to this one. Who knows? The first one was always is always a bit of fun. All right, so that should all be nice and lined up. Looks good. Oop, a little bit. Slightly skew if. There we go. Come back down again. It's looking better. Much tighter. Give this a nice pull tight. Where's that one? Not so. There we go. Just pulled the wrong one first. There we go. Beautiful. And then back down the middle again. So up and back, up and back. That's the best way to go. Check that's going through there. That's it. Oop. Try not to pull it out of shot. Okay. And then back up this little hole here. Should just pop out. I hope. Oh, not quite. Oh, because I'm going up the wrong bit. This can take a little bit of fun to get it. Oh, there we go. Get it just right. I really feel like this is an art form to try and get this all nice and tight, and it takes a little bit of practice, but once you've got it, it's no problem at all. Once you've done a couple, it's not as crazy. Again, I just pull it tight, put a knot in it first before I tie a bow so that it keeps everything nice and taut. That's it. Perfect. Look at that. Nice and tight still. Get rid of my little gadget there. Stick that away. I got a bit excited on how much cotton I used on that one, wasn't it? Beautiful. How good's that look? Make that one side a bit smaller too. Yep. Beautiful. That's pretty good. Just cut off the excess. You could double knot that if you wanted as well, if you don't want that to sit. So now we can take these off. And these, oh look at that, they're nice and tight. Both signatures are in. That is looking very, very good. So then on your other side, see I pulled that quite tight on some of that. Just give it a bit of a rub and it seems to stretch out a little bit. So that's your sewing on that side, which has turned out really good. I thought about doing orange, but orange on the inside doesn't go with everything. So, especially in your middle pages, that would have been bright orange. So I decided not to do those, that colour. Stuck with the norm. But they have come up pretty good. I really like that. And I like that it's a bit looser than that one. I got really tight on the second one. Very nice. It is fine. Trust me. So you can see the top through there. There's the two signatures. They're nice and spaced apart too, which is good. By spacing them apart, you've given yourself plenty of room to expand it, because this is going to get fat. As much as you try not to, it's going to get fat. That's just the nature of the beast. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how that's come out so far, which is really good. So once it's all sorted, I can tie this guy up, which will be a bit cute. At the moment, it's very, very thin. and it's very, very to shape. But in time, it will fatten up. I'll show you my last year's journal and what it, how fat it's got. So pretty much the same sort of thing. So this is my last year's journal. It started like this also, quite skinny, and has ended up this fat. So it's got lots and lots of pages. And when it sits up, it is absolutely chock-a-block. Look at all that. Look at all that craziness. I'll do a little walkthrough of this one in my next video so you can see how my other one has, this one turned out. But oh, I love this journal. Love, love, love it. Very happy. It's my first full year one that I've done, and yeah, I absolutely love it. Okay, all right. I'll leave that with you tonight. Well, today. And I might come back tomorrow and add some bits and bobs in it, and I'll film it for you so you can see what I get up to. All right, no problem. Catch you later. See you in the next video. Bye.